Love this podcast? Support this show through the Acast supporter feature. It's up to you how much you give, and there's no regular commitment. Just click the link in the show description to support now.
We have something special for you this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. I found a family that's down in Florida, and they all, in their own way, are pro wrestling fans. I mean, starting from the father, who is a lifelong wrestling fan, the wonderful wife who encourages his fandom and has allowed the entire family to get wrapped up in it. And then we have all of the kids who, in their own way, they interact with pro wrestling one way or another. This is really, really cool. Action figures, energy drinks. We even talk about maybe Mickey Mouse getting a stone cold stunner from Donald Duck. What? Oh yeah. This is family-friendly entertainment here, folks, and you're going to hear it in one moment. But before we get to any of that, I want to remind you, Zencastr. Okay, that is my favorite program to record the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast. I absolutely love it. Studio quality sound. And in addition to audio, there's also a video option as well. So you can do your video podcasting or video conferencing. I encourage everybody, head over to zencastr.com. That's zencastr.com. Check it out for yourself. They even have a free version so you can test it out. You can see if it's something that you want to incorporate into whatever projects that you have coming up. But I'm telling you right now, as a podcaster, Zencastr is number one for me. That's right. And now, let's get on with the show.
You're locked in.
Look at what we have here, folks.
To the only show that matters.
The cream of the crop.
Duke Loves Rasslin.
And there is no one that does it better than
Your host,
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
the Duke.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
You know, earlier this month, folks, June 11th and 12th, the River City Wrestling Con took place down in Jacksonville. And of course, you had all these wonderful Hall of Famers. You had stars from today, stars from tomorrow, the whole nine yards there at this one wonderful convention. And it was cool because there were a lot of pictures and videos that were posted. Fans and even the social media team that was working at the River City Wrestling Con. Shout out to Shayla and Jay Bougie. What was really cool, there was one family in particular that just stood out. They got a lot of love online. And I said, you know something, I got to get these folks on the show and talk about their pro wrestling fandom. And certainly this is a real treat. On the heels of Father's Day, and also one of the members of the family is celebrating a birthday. So without further ado, welcome to the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast. I'm going to name everybody here. We have the birthday girl, Ari. We have Gio, Illiana, Karina, who's the mom, and the father, Jay. Welcome to the entire family here.
Hello.
Hello.
You know, you folks are going to have to start some type of singing band or something. The way that you were able to do a greeting, say hello in such great harmony there, we got to put you on the road and start making some money here. Jay, just like me, you're a lifelong wrestling fan and someone that is really, really passionate about pro wrestling. You've been able to pass this passion down to your kids. And now this is a real family affair here. How does it feel? How does it feel to be able to share something so important with your wife, with your kids, and everybody seems to be involved in their own special way?
Man, it's great. It's really great. I love it. I've been loving wrestling. My first love was Carlitos Caribbean's Cool's dad. That was my first experience with wrestling. The Samoan Afa and Sika back in Puerto Rico. So that was my first, love where wrestling started. And now, enjoying Stone Cold, The Rock, and then passing it down to my kids. It's like, oh, come on, let's go. We could continue this.
Now, Karina, we know that Jay is a lifelong wrestling fan, and certainly the kids, still young people here, they will be able to say the same thing, lifelong wrestling fans. But that's not your story. In fact, your attachment to pro wrestling really has begun as your relationship with Jay has grown and you folks have gotten married, started a family, the whole 9 yards here. So I got to ask, how does it feel to have pro wrestling be such an important part of the family dynamic?
To be honest, we're a really close-knit family. And ever since me and Jay got together 8 years ago, it's been something that's religious in our family. Like there's no go about it. There's no way around it. It's going to be on TV. I have no choice. And then when my son started getting into it, when he first got into it was when Bad Bunny came out with Booker T. When they came out with the song, he was like, wait a minute. And I saw like how my husband was able to, bond with him with that. And it was already something that was so big for him. So to me, I absolutely love it. And as I showed you, my house has turned into like a wrestling explosion. It's everywhere you turn. So I don't mind it at all. I love it. Like I said, we're a really close-knit family. So if it's going to bring us together, then why not?
Folks check out your social media, they're going to see a heck of a collection. I mean, action figures, belts, limited edition energy drink advertisements, just the whole 9 yards there. And I don't even call it Jay's collection. This is the family collection, which is really, really nice. And I know that Ari's just celebrated her 10th birthday. So happy birthday, Ari. Ari, how does it feel to have so much cool pro wrestling related stuff in the house?
It actually feels great and it's cool. It's fun to watch my dad collect more and do TikToks. And he got me into wrestling and my brother did too.
Ari, what about the other kids in the neighborhood? Are they big wrestling fans like you and your family are?
None of the kids actually really talked about wrestling. They only talked about Disney and stuff.
Oh, so we got a Disney neighborhood out there. And for everyone listening, you got to remember, these folks live in Florida. So, of course, Disney is still king, especially for the young folk. But, Ari, maybe you can be the person to bridge the gap. I mean, can you imagine if you find a way to take Disney and pro wrestling and put it together? Maybe we can get Mickey Mouse and we can get Donald Duck. Maybe they can have a big WrestleMania battle or something like that. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I like that. And Donald Duck could do a stunner to Mickey.
Well, it sounds to me like Ari is going to be the person running the wrestling promotion, okay? She's going to be the booker. She's putting together matches already. Donald Duck is going to give Mickey a stunner. I love it. I love it. Now, next up, we have Gio. And, what's fun about Gio is that he is 110% into the cosplay. He cosplayed Mankind last year at the River City Wrestling Con, and he was able to take first place. This year, he cosplayed Stone Cold Steve Austin, and he won second place. So I got to hear about this here. What's going on there, Gio, the cosplayer?
This is Gio, a.k.a. Mini Stone Cold. And you're listening to Duke Loves Wrestling.
And that's the right because Stone Cold said so.
Look at that. Once again, right on cue. The kid is a natural. And I wonder about something, Gio, because you're a young guy, 7 years old. Stone Cold Steve Austin has not wrestled a match in your lifetime other than what we just recently saw this year at WrestleMania. How do you know so much about Stone Cold Steve Austin that you could do such a cool impersonation?
When I first got into it, I didn't know anything about Stone Cold. My dad, he just told me everything.
Well, that's pretty cool. It's cool that your dad introduced you to Stone Cold as a character and someone that you can take a look at, look up to, emulate. What's your favorite part about Stone Cold, Gio? What is it about this guy that you like the most?
He always beating everybody. He never backs out a challenge, and he always acts like Stone Cold.
So, Gio, are we going to see you in the WWE someday? Are you going to be WWE World Champion someday?
Yep. I just love wrestling.
Well, there you have it, folks. Another exclusive here on the Duke Loves Rasslin podcast. Future WWE World Champion Gio just let us know that he plans on accomplishing that goal in the not too distant future. I love it. Now, we have the eldest sibling, Illiana. And what's interesting about Illiana is that she is a big K-pop fan. So, you know, she may not be as big of a wrestling fan as everybody else in the house, but she definitely is into the K-pop. So, Illiana, tell me, why K-pop more than pro wrestling?
Well, honestly, I'm kind of tired of my brother constantly just walking up to me and giving me a stunner. So, yeah.
Everyone listening right now can relate to exactly what you just said, Illiana. And I'll tell you a funny story. For me, when I was younger, and my younger sister, I know that you're older than Gio, but with me, I was always putting my younger sister in the figure 4 leg lock because I was such a big Ric Flair fan. So I get it. You know, Gio giving his older sister a stunner, you know, it gets a little tiring at some point. So that's why you go to the K-pop music to mellow out. Now, Illiana, have you seen any of the K-pop bands like BTS? Have you seen them in concert yet? Or are you looking forward to any of the upcoming concerts?
No, I'm looking forward to it one day. Hopefully I can, maybe this year, depending if they do a concert.
Well, I can't speak for this year, but certainly next year. To my friends at the River City Wrestling Con, especially the head honcho over there, Nick, we got to get some K-pop involved with the River City Wrestling Con. Let's get some of these bands out here. Who knows? Maybe even somebody from BTS. Let's incorporate K-pop into the River City Wrestling Con so Illiana can have something in addition to all the wrestling going on that the rest of the family is into. She can do her dances and all that good stuff there with the K-pop. What do you think about that?
That would be amazing. Thank you so much.
You folks are such a wonderful family. We got to find ways to keep everybody engaged. And certainly, if that means incorporating a little bit of K-pop, then I'm sure we can make that work. So again, shout out to Illiana, who is not as big of a wrestling fan, but certainly a big K-pop fan. Really, really fun. Now, Jay, you said that you brought the family to the River City Wrestling Con last year as well. So that was your first time going to the convention last year. What was it about last year that made you decide to bring everybody back again this year? Because it's really cool that you've developed this new tradition of going to the River City Wrestling Con and meeting all the stars and being part of the festivities, so to speak here. What made you decide to keep coming back?
Well, the first year, we didn't know what to really expect. It was my first time going to, after loving wrestling for all this time, was the first time that I was able to go to a WrestleCon. And me, I could say some of my heroes, I grew up, in a bad place in Puerto Rico. So that was my escape, wrestling. So being able to meet them and seeing the kids so excited. My son was already into Mankind, Mick Foley. So his mom, of course, made the mask, made everything. And it was cool, too, for him to start falling in love with wrestling that way, too, with Mankind. Because when my daughter, the one that's her birthday's tomorrow, when she was about 4 or 5, we was already showing her Cactus Jack matches. And I'm talking about the bloody ones. I'm not talking about all the nice, no, I'm talking about all the bloody Cactus Jack matches. So for them to, for her to be going on that, and then she wasn't in, like, whatever. And then for him to pick it up, when we went there, from there on, it just changed everything. That day basically got everybody more involved, and the collection started growing even more. When they made Mick Foley, when he made Mick Foley, that was epic for me. I didn't need a picture, but seeing him, Mick Foley told him, "Hey, you got to do the Mando Club to me." So he did the finisher to Mick Foley. Mick Foley pulled out his mask, the original mask. He had it, so he pulled it out, put it on. So it was pretty cool.
Now, Karina, I know you and Jay are involved in the music industry. Karina, you're also a model. And I wonder, because when you go to an event like the River City Wrestling Con and you meet all these wrestlers, they got to be looking at you and the family and just wondering, hey, are they wrestlers? Like, especially, Jay and of course you, Karina, are they wrestlers? How does it feel to be in these spaces? And do you ever feel that vibe? Like maybe they're wondering if you're in the industry as well? Because you definitely look like you could be a wrestler.
It's honestly surreal because like I said, I didn't grow up a wrestling fan, I didn't understand it, to be honest. I kind of, I was one of those people who was a skeptic. I was like, it's fake. But once me and Jay got together, and like I said, it became every, Monday and Friday thing, I started to grow a respect for the sport, and I started to realize that, it's more than just, some people throwing themselves in a ring. Like it takes a lot of guts, a little bit of everything to be, a wrestler. So that, that to me, that was it. I think it's awesome.
Jay, I tip my hat to you, brother. You're living the life here. You've managed to take your passion, pro wrestling, and combine it with your other passion and your other major responsibility in life, and that's your family. So, and it's not easy. It's not easy to find someone, especially, with your wife, Karina, and how supportive she is of your wrestling fandom and allowing it to be a major part of the family dynamic as well. The kids are involved with it, and, she's immersed herself, Karina, she's immersed herself in it as well. It's very challenging to find people who are willing to just jump in and support their mate's passion to this degree. And it's really, really cool to see, man. And I can only imagine it's because of the type of person that you are, Jay, where you must give off so much love and respect and honor to your wife, which in turn encourages her to give you the same in return. And the best way to give it to you in return is to just embrace pro wrestling, because it's part of you. It's part of who you are as a person. It's a major, major aspect of comfort in your life. And listen, man, I sympathize. I understand. I relate. Certainly, same case on my side of the block here. And thank goodness, my lady, she has embraced pro wrestling and has, encouraged me to continue to just enjoy my fandom. So, it's really, really cool to see other people having a similar dynamic there. So kudos to you, Jay. I tip my hat to you and to the whole family there, brother.
Oh, man, I appreciate it a lot. Again, I take my hats off to the wife. She was the one that basically started me back on let's get figures. And every time we seen one, she would tell me, but just get it. She would see me how, happy I get and just looking at them. They opened a store here, a toy store. It's called Hyperspace. So we went there, and oh my God, they had all these rocks, vintage rocks, and that was it. I got my first one, and from there on, it just took off. I said, okay, so we back at it.
We only have one Puerto Rican restaurant here in Pensacola where we live. So he will literally use the excuse that he wants to go eat some Puerto Rican food just so he can go to Hyperspace and just hint, look at figures. And then he ends up walking out with something.
Oh, that's pretty exciting. So hold on a second here. I'm all about the food. My family's from Jamaica, and certainly when it comes to Caribbean cuisine in general, there's a lot of things that translate, a lot of things that's similar. So if I go down there, Pensacola area, would have you there, Jay, where am I going and what am I getting? I mean, tell me more about the menu there at this restaurant.
Man, if you come out here to Pensacola, you go there on Joe's Caribe here in Pensacola, man, you're going to have the best Puerto Rican food, the best Puerto Rican experience when it comes down to flavor and how authentic it is. The people is really humble. The owner, his name is Joe, and he's always there. He's really great. He's down to earth. So if you come down here, let me know. We go there. I got to go with the rice and gandules with the pork. That's one of the traditional plates from Puerto Rico.
Yes, sir.
I got to get the fried plantains, that capurria. Man, I could go down the list. Just give me the whole restaurant.
Okay, you're making me hungry now, Jay. I love it, bro. I might have to take you up on that offer there, man. That's good stuff. That's good. Listen, you folks are wonderful. I mean, really just such great wrestling fans and such a wonderful, wonderful family. I was really excited to have you all on the show just to share you with the audience further, because this is what it's about. And the way that you all have embraced pro wrestling and has made it a part of your family dynamic, it's really something special. And it makes the fandom worth it, so to speak there, you know. Plug away. Do me a favor and let everybody know what's the best way that they can keep up with you folks online, because you certainly have figured out this whole social media stuff, and there's always such great content coming from you. So let everybody know.
All right. You could find us on TikTok at Can I Get a Hell Yeah? And it's going to be CANIGETAHELLYEAA. And you can find Jay on Twitter at rebel_collector.
And that's the way, because Stone Cold said so.
Have you subscribed to the Panera Bread Unlimited Sip Club? Folks, what are you waiting on here? We're talking $8.99 a month so you can grab yourself a drink once every 2 hours. It is fantastic. And let me tell you something. They've expanded the Unlimited Sip Club. So not only can you get your hot or iced coffee or your hot or iced tea, now you can get the fountain drink. So if you want to grab yourself a soda, or check this out. Okay, we are talking about the charged lemonades. Strawberry lemon mint, Fuji apple cranberry, or the mango yuzu citrus. Okay, these are clean energy drinks, folks. Okay, we're talking about guarana and green coffee extract. Gives you a nice little boost. It certainly keeps me charged up to deliver the best episodes of Duke Loves Rasslin for you. So what are you waiting on? Visit your local Panera Bread or go to PaneraBread.com. Sign up for the Unlimited Sip Club. Enjoy. Folks, as always, be kind to yourselves and be kind to others. Take it away, Tony Schiavone.
This is Tony Schiavone, and we're desperately out of time on Duke Loves Wrestling.